What is up, YouTube, my Cowboys family? Bringing you guys the latest update on the Dallas Cowboys. I am a hater first in the chat. What's up, man?
Giants
thanks for joining us here.
What's up?
Simmons family, thanks for being here as well. Give us just a second while we check our
What's
audio.
Up? From ours to yours.
Yeah, we've been having a few audio bumps lately, so we want to make sure we're good to go before we get rolling here. We have a lot of news.
What's up, YouTube, my Cowboys family?
We're good on that night.
Good. All right, we're good on both sides. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. Like we said, Fiance and I have quite a bit of news on the Dallas Cowboys today. Some major news out of the Star in concern of some coaching moves, some coaching changes, guys. So, Jared Jablonski, thanks for joining us, said, let's hope he brings in Earl, Thomas, and Sherman. Sebastian Flores,
that's
what's
what
up?
We're going to be talking about him in a minute.
I'm a hater, you were first. So,
yes.
Baby, you want to go ahead and get rolling? I mean, guys, like I said, we have some coaching changes that were just made, announced today.
Let's start off with the one that we kind of already knew was going to happen. Quarterbacks coach. According to Stephen Jones today, he said that we're real close to getting Kellen Moore penciled in as the quarterback coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Officially.
Yeah.
So, and DJ Crown J in the house. What's
up,
guys?
Bro?
If you haven't already, DJ Crown J just dropped a video on his channel, Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Drop the link in the chat. Make sure to go check it out there.
Yes.
Make sure to sub up to him as well, guys. He's going to be putting out some great stuff. You know, his new video is, you know, really giving a good breakdown of the Cowboys compared to, you know, the way a car runs. And again,
the analogies are fantastic.
It really works.
It.
And again, it just, you know, he breaks it down in a really good way. Go ahead and make sure to check it out, guys. You know, and looking forward to everything else you're going to put out, DJ.
Yes. Sub up to him ASAP, guys. Speaking of DJ Crown J.
Starboy50, thanks for joining us here as well. And Ryan, what's up? Thanks for being here.
Ryan in the house. Yeah, I have to address the weekly Super Chat leaderboard because DJ Crown J, of course, he won 4 weeks in a row. We thought we had claim day winner yesterday. DJ Crown J for the fifth quarter Cowboys, 5th time in a row. But on our late rant stream last night, very late, couldn't sleep. There was a bunch of you guys out there, so
a lot of feelings.
Much props. But the point is, Space Cowboy dropped enough, and I thought he had passed you. Well, when I recalculated it, I realized that I was actually, because I didn't have the paperwork on there with me, guys. So when I redid it and I saw it was a tie. So for the fun of it, you know, we are going to extend it to overtime here today on Monday and start off tomorrow in the new week. Hopefully it won't be a tie.
Colton Plays, happy birthday, man. Enjoy your birthday. Glad you're taking the time to spend a little bit with it here with us. So hopefully we can,
happy birthday,
you know, give you some good news as far as the Cowboys. And Vampire Prince, what's up? You have a rant video today as well. I mean, you know, I'm a hater, hit it on the head. The two teams no one wants in the Super Bowl are in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So Peanut 310, thanks for joining us here as well. So Carly Gaming, what's up? So guys, other than that, we do have another major coaching change to the Cowboys.
Yes. So the report it's a report, and now I think it's pretty much 100% official. Chris Richard, former defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, has been hired by the Dallas Cowboys for replacement for the Matt Eberflus position, that spot. So if you need me to kind of let you know, I guess you could say he kind of handled the passing game coordinator. He was a passing game coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys and a linebackers coach for the Dallas Cowboys. That's Matt Eberflus.
So now he's going to be replacing that guy?
Yeah. Well,
over both
Eberflus is going to go to, well, no, Eberflus is going to go to Indianapolis with McDaniels, Josh McDaniels from the offensive coordinator from the Patriots. After they finish the Super Bowl, either way, you know, he's going there. So that's already a known thing. So that's what they're leaving to, and he's going to be the defensive coordinator there. Yeah. It's an upgrade. Of course, Marinelli is still currently with the Dallas Cowboys. What I'm hearing is he has no plans of retiring. They're going to probably keep him there at least one more season, but they need somebody in there to fill in that assistant role, I guess you'd say, the next in charge. And usually it's the passing game coordinator. That's the word in Dallas. That's the way kind of the hierarchy goes. Okay. So it's it's head coach, defensive coordinator, you know, on the defensive side, and then passing game coordinator. And so that was Eberflus. He's gone. So this guy here, and his name again is Chris Richard, is the defensive backs coach. So that's the difference, guys. The linebacker coach hasn't been filled yet, but our defensive backs coach, who is now have been replaced, this is the official defensive backs coach. So he's going to be there with Chidobe Awuzie, with Jordan Lewis. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, Peanut said, is that basically a defensive backs coach just worded differently?
No. it's a defensive backs coach. That's the primary job for him. Okay. But he also oversees the passing game for opposing offenses. So kind of like a Tony Romo could do that, I think would be a fantastic guy at that role because he knows how to read a defense. We see him in
the booth now, just as
right,
just in the booth again, like he's already calling out the plays and saying what he sees.
Yeah, so. and that is, he can do both. I mean, that's the thing. He could be an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator. So that's kind of what it's kind of like the defensive coordinator, but there's an overseer on that, and that is Rod Marinelli. So. Again, looks at this guy is young. He's talented. He's worked with great defensive players. A lot of people are starting the whispers and the rumors about Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
It's starting to look like maybe Willie lure him over to Dallas. You see, another thing with defensive backs coach worked closely with him. I mean, he worked with a defensive back, Earl Thomas. So Earl Thomas wanted to come to Dallas, back home. Now it's looking like it's a possibility. You don't know.
And again, we'll see what happens, guys. But
we'll take it step by step. But yeah. So let me just look up.
Thanks for being here, Virginia's finest. What's up, man? Kevin Bilbo. He said, "I will not watch the Super Bowl for the first time in my life because I can't watch any of these teams. No way." So AJ Vasquez said, "This is a great addition to the coaching staff. He will try to get Earl Thomas to come over."
Correct.
So, and that's what we're hopeful for. We can't even begin to say how good Earl Thomas would be on our team. But, does that mean that we would have to get rid of someone maybe to open up more space? And who are those people? We've discussed that before. We'll hop into that a little more.
I mean, you could always say Des Bryant. You could always say,
Like, I know Beasley is kind of a hot button
But see, Des Bryant it would be more of a, I don't see that being a realistic thing. Even though we all in Cowboy Nations agree, it's not going to be a realistic option, I think. When it comes to Beasley, I'm hearing just generally before this, I heard he was on a trading block. I heard they were looking to maybe move him so they can move Switzer into that spot. So now it's looking more and more like it could be a possibility now. The Seattle Seahawks want Beasley and a draft pick for Earl Thomas, who they know, he's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be under contract next year, but that's a way of resolving that issue. Similarly, as if we were to like some people on YouTube, and LL is one of them, suggested maybe how about moving Byron Jones, who's on the last year of his contract next year, and instead of worrying about having to re-sign him, we just trade him to it's kind of a swap in that sense. Now, I'd rather try to keep Byron Jones, and I might want to try to keep him, re-sign him next year. So I don't think you want to let him go yet. He can do so many things. He's versatile. He can play tight end. He can play, safety, strong safety. He can play dime linebacker. So there's a lot of things about that, which I did kind of want to mention. Just a real kind of side thing here about Byron Jones, since I just mentioned his name. From a scout's perspective, what would be the best spot to put like a Byron Jones? Okay, cornerback, safety, what do you do? According to some scouts, most scouts, they say about either a strong safety, which kind of baffles some people, or a dime linebacker, which that to me makes sense. When you move him to dime linebacker, you still have three corners and you have three safeties now, technically, in the game, and that's why you have six coverage guys like that. So you would have him as the dime linebacker, while you have Kevon Frazier and Jeff Heath as the safeties, and you'd have Awuzie, Jordan Lewis, and Xavier Woods out there as well at corner. Sure. So there's a lot of mix and match, and that's the versatility with Byron Jones, and and he is slowly getting better every season. He needs to be a little more. We wish he was more improved. His jumps were bigger, but kind of like in his combine, setting those records. But we wish that. But unfortunately, it's not he's not progressing as fast as we'd hoped.
Yeah.
But he's got still the talent there. I mean, he still sticks tight ends fantastic. He saved us on a lot of third downs this year. And they were important ones. I don't know if they won us the games or lost us those games, but he helped us give us a chance.
Yeah, and guys, to get us clear, we like Beasley. It's not that we necessarily want to get rid of Beasley.
No.
We're thinking as far as what the Cowboys have seen production-wise and the moves that they're trying to make, what they could possibly do.
And another important factor is the fact that you have someone like Ryan Switzer.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be realistic. That's all we're trying to say. So, because honestly, I'm a big Beasley fan. I would love nothing more to see him stay. And I agree with you guys. I see that, the way his music career, whatever the heck he's got going on there, is going. And with his family in Texas and him being, I think he's a Texas local, right?
Yeah. Earl Thomas? I'm sorry, Beasley. Yes,
right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
He's from Texas. So I'm just saying that I'm not 100% sure, but I know he has a lot of roots in Texas now. He's been there a while. I just don't see him really wanting to leave or uprooting his family. So, who knows? But we'll have to see. Cowboys Abroad, what's up? Thanks for joining us here. So yeah, so with him there, with Switzer there, Beasley, just saying, let's see what happens in training camp, but let's see what happens now in the offseason. And again, it really depends on how badly do they maybe want Earl Thomas or some of these other guys in regards to the guys that they want to keep, because the Cowboys are the type of team that they tend to stick with the guys they have. So again, it's very likely Beasley's not going to go anywhere. We already don't think Dez is going anywhere.
See, Beasley can open up.
You never know.
Beasley can open up a couple $1 million. I think about $3 million on the salary cap, which might be viable when you have someone like Ryan Switzer waiting in the back, in the background there. And he got him a year. Yeah. You got him a good game there, a good trial against the Eagles the last game of the season. He looked very good. You got to give him more opportunities, and how you can do that when you have Beasley in front of him. You see, that's where you have a downfall there. Now, if you want to trade Dez Bryant, I say go for it, but you have to replace that superstar role. And I know there's a lot of possibilities. I don't say you go receiver in the draft. I think you go, defensive tackle, Vita Vea.
No, I agree.
Someone like that. Anyways.
And thanks for joining us here, Space Cowboy 17. Can't wait to check out that video once our stream's over. And we'll definitely be checking you out Joe Boo's channel at 9:45 later today. So. Yes. And Cowboys Abroad, you make a good point. He said, I thought the Cowboys would use them more together. I think a lot of us expected a lot more Beasley, Switz, double team action. Exactly. And again, we didn't see Switzer at all. And that's the only hope we can hope. That's the only hope we have if he is still on the team, Beasley, and we of course Switzer is there with him, that we see that more from the offense, and hopefully those kind of creativity. See, people kind of mix up the words of some of us Cowboy fans, and we say, oh, we want to see more creativity in offense. Yes, but be specific, guys, when you say that. We want to see more creativity in the passing game, not in the running game. We want to see conservative running game. Yeah, we want to see our running game doesn't need anything more than doing what they've done, and again, but they do rely on a little bit of creativity from the passing game because it helps open the run up as well. But the run helps open up, which is a real powerhouse. Exactly. The run ends up opening up the pass, and when you end up doing that, you can have Switzer run around the backside, and then maybe fake a handoff while you have Zeke going straight up the middle. You would freeze some people, but if they're watching for Zeke, only Zeke, and you're not getting a little bit creative with the running game, you do have to do those things at times. But I do believe, even when they put a lot of people in the box, yes, Zeke still got 4 or 5 yards many times this season, more often than not, and so did the other running backs. Alfred Morris and Rod Smith. Dallas Cowboy Football News, thanks for being here. He said it's a waste to have Ryan Switzer and Cole Beasley on the roster. Correct. The Cowboys Abroad says Beasley and Switzer in a lineup at the same time is a nightmare for any defense. But they haven't done it. Why didn't they do it? Why did they hold back the trigger on that? We're hoping it's a nightmare, but we haven't seen it in action yet. And again, I'm hopeful that we do keep both of them. I mean, I'm kind of 50-50. I can see him going. I can see him staying. But I'm hopeful he'll stay, and hopefully, again, the Cowboys do use both of them out there, because I think both of them, along with a hopefully healthy Dez and a good kick in his pants, and we'll some glue on his gloves. He got humbled this year. Hopefully, he's going to be able, if we keep him, which I project that he will be kept here based on what the way Jerry Jones is, the way he wants to keep him there, even if it's just marketing the X. It still promotes the Dallas Cowboys, and that's another way of advertising for Jerry Jones. That's a good point. Tinfoil hat theory time. Are you saying that maybe Jerry Jones is kind of keeping Dez around just because of the draw that 88 has? That's one. He's worth more money on the team, even all these other things combined, even when he's not producing. I don't think that's the only reason why, but I think that is a reason. I do think that does factor into Jerry Jones. Is somewhat of a small brand of a part of that. So he gets a lot of dividends from that. People like Dez, they like the Cowboys. So, and SCFL Network is Santa Claus, aka SCNL Network. Thanks for joining us here as well. So let me see. Space Cowboy said, if you build up the D-line, the DL and LB core with Richard at the helm, we have potential to be a top 5 defense. Kay said Dak was way less than mediocre without Zeke. He was averaging 178 yards sack. That's a great. And how many bad games, especially that loss against Denver. Yeah, great points by everybody out there. I was going to say Denver was like a full team loss. That was not all Dak. I mean, the entire team just collapsed. Dak, the offensive line, the running back. I mean, Zeke fumbled in the first play of the game. Yeah, I mean a lot of huge mistakes. And then when Dak got the ball to Dez basically caused the 2 turnovers on his own. I mean, so here's the thing. Speaking of defense and about having this Chris Richard here with us, basically as a defensive coordinator, he's the pass game
whatever I said earlier, but he's basically the pass game coordinator for the defense. That means defense, guys, not offense. So he's defense, and he also is a defensive backs coach. So he's going to work with these rookies. All right, we might get another 1 or 2 in the draft. He's gonna develop these guys.
How long was he with Seattle for?
That's a great question. I don't know. I have to check on that.
So, but again, just saying, because that would speak as well to his legacy with not just these high caliber guys, but how he was able to develop some of these younger guys as well. But it sounds like overall, this is a great step forward for Dallas.
Yeah, I mean these things make a big difference when you have great coaches, or you have coaches that have been proven to do things with players of similar talent. And I think these young guys for the Cowboys have similar talent to what the Seahawks had back there in their backfield. Bringing Earl Thomas along would be huge. Somehow get it going. I would like to get rid of Crawford, to be honest, guys. And I don't think Seattle will take him in a draft pick for Earl Thomas. But I would love to get rid of him because we have Cheeto. Well, I mean, not Cheeto. We have Taco back there, and we also have Tapper, who could hope. We still have hopes he would develop. He reminds me of Chaz Green for some reason.
Space Cowboys said he was there from 2010 to 2017. So again,
that's the boom time, guys. That's the Legion of Boom.
And that right there proves that obviously he didn't do it alone, but he definitely was a part of that success.
Right, and
so
if you have the talent, he can develop it.
Team.
I think you'll see more aggressiveness. I think you'll see more hard hitting.
No, and I think you're going to see as well a little bit of intelligence. We're going to see these rookies hopefully making better reads and cleaning up those little mistakes that we see.
What's a good sign though? Like Awuzie is a very intelligent person.
Yeah,
he's a rookie.
So far, all our rookies have been picking it up pretty quick.
Yes.
They've been adjusting very quickly.
Xavier Woods has to learn to tackle. Xavier Woods has to learn to tackle. Aside from that, he's great.
And Asian Brooks, thanks for joining us. Legion of Boom coming to Dallas. We're knocking on the door.
I mean, look, they're also talking about Richard Sherman out there possibly being a guy that we have to, maybe think about picking up. I think we go with Earl Thomas, if anybody, out of those two. Because he has more fuel in the tank. You know what I mean?
Not just that, but when you think about immediate need as well, and Sherman, I hate to say it, but I do have a feeling he's just not going to be the same after this injury. Like just a little sliver of me thinks he's going to be
I'm with you on that.
But
the point is he'll be on the decline. Earl Thomas is still on the pinnacle, So
yeah, he's still here. He hasn't started the downward descent yet.
But
Richard Sherman's kind of like already started.
Yeah. Now here's what I'm going to say: the Cowboys. Think about this with our defense from this last season, all right? With the injuries with Sean Lee and all the rookies we have on defense and inexperience and the bad coaching the first half of the season, second half of the season, things kind of got better. We ended up 10th total defense, okay, in the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's a top 10, I want to say it again, top 10 defense for the Dallas Cowboys, in case you didn't hear me, all right? That's unbelievable with the way the offense played.
I mean, insane. And Cowboys abroad dropping some bombs. He said Rod Marinelli is going to retire next year, and Richard is going to take over.
That's the probability. That's the probability.
And again, so far it seems like the writing's on the wall, especially with the demanding of Marinelli is not retiring this year.
Cowboys brought much points for that. That is exactly, we were talking about that earlier, kind of insinuating that, it's the next in charge. Marinelli is not retiring this year as of yet, but he would be the next in charge. Everfluss would have been that guy. He wanted to go in a new route. I can't blame him. The Cowboys held him back from going just to interview.
Yeah.
The Cowboys still had the last say, but they refused to let him interview with San Francisco. And I guess that kind of bit him in the butt a little bit for the Dallas Cowboys, and he didn't like that. So he said, I'm going in with Josh McDaniels and going to the Colts. So, hey, good. You can't blame him either, So, this
gotta do what you gotta do.
Chris
Starboy 50 said Chris has been pretty much under Pete Carroll for a while. So again, bodes well for what he'll be able to do here under Marinelli and hopefully taking over.
Maybe his fire will push Garrett eventually out of the way.
Like I said, who knows? And Nathan Roberts plays. Thanks for joining us here, man. Julian Smith, what's up? He said one question: if the Cowboys don't make the playoffs, is Jason Garrett in trouble?
Yes.
Yes.
It's already a known fact, actually, that he might.
Already the water's getting warm.
Yeah, the Lenahan's going to be gone if they have another season. Even if they have a winning season in some ways, if the offense produces the way they have and they keep, I believe, passing too much and not focusing on their strengths and going away from their strengths and going towards and playing towards their weaknesses. You're going to see Lenahan gone. You're going to see a lot of offensive coaches, even new ones, rookies, whatever you want to call them. These guys that came up, these guys got the whole staff. I think would be gone on the offensive side for sure. Now you talk about Chris Robert. What's his name? Chris Robert.
We just called him Chris.
Yeah.
Stevens?
Chris Richard. Jeez, I can't believe it's two first names.
That's why.
Chris Richard. Chris Richard is a defensive, Legion of Boom. He was involved in that whole thing. Earl Thomas, he became defensive coordinator. My point is that this guy, he's going to help the Cowboys, I think, tremendously on defense. Our defense was top 10, all right? We also had a defense that was 13th in scoring. That's crazy when you think about it. You know, we scored points with our defense. 13th. I mean, I'm trying to think of the points. I'm assuming special teams that blocked. I guess that wasn't a touchdown, but I know we had that in Washington. We had one. We had. I'm not sure. We got 13th in scoring. Maybe in scoring defense. I think we were 13th overall in allowing points. Okay, that might be what it is. But there were also a bunch of pick sixes against the Cowboys. Against when Dak threw them. So adding more defensive players, strengthening this defense, and I think really solidifying it, you know, for any kind of mishaps. For instance, concussion by Irving. Of course, Sean Lee. You can get a linebacker in there, whether free agency or a good second, third round linebacker. You can develop him. With Jalen Smith coming around, I think we're going to be good. You know, we have to be ready for that. We have to have, you know, the rookies in play. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good on defense, guys, with this Chris Roberts out there. I do Chris Richard out there. I think it's going to be very good to have him out there, and it's a big plus for the Dallas Cowboys today. That's
I
a
agree,
very good
but
plus.
you know, and Starboys and Space Cowboy, you guys have some good comments there. Space Cowboy said, "Why get some aging stars? Stick to the draft. You know, don't go against our philosophy of building through the draft." But Space Cowboy 17, you make a good point, and it's kind of what I was thinking was, you know, look at Philly and New England though. They have good coaching, got quality free agents, they draft well, and the players execute the plays. And stability. We only have two of those things. And again, one thing that Cowboys have lacked majorly, as much as I believe building through the draft has been overall successful for the most part, you can't deny there's been problems with that, and the Cowboys' reluctance to pick up free agents occasionally or making the right moves when it comes to free agency has come back and bit them in the butt.
Right. Now, I'm going to say this also about the coaches. The other guys that have come in and interviewed for that same kind of spot was Ray Horton, former Cowboy player, 92, got a ring. John Pagano, he was there. He's just the defensive. He just was the defensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders. These guys are there visiting as well, and they're still saying they might be. Like, for instance, Pagano is more of a linebackers coach. So guess what? We're going to see him getting plugged in there. You see, that's why that's why Richards is not going to be the linebacker coach. They have Pagano probably going to be moving in that spot. You have Ray Horton. He was supposed to be defensive backs coach. Now, I don't know if he's going to be maybe an assistant to him because he has to concentrate more on the overall defense as well. He's going to develop these guys and have maybe Ray Horton as an assistant to him. Either way, these guys might prove integral still in the coaching staff on the defensive side. So the defense seems to be getting better in every single facet, guys. Players, coaches. I like what's happening on that side. I'm going to be honest about that. I'm hopeful about that side. The offensive side worries the living crap out of me because we have a lot of players, a lot of almost player coaches, but the ones that are there, they're still assistants. Those player coaches, and even though they're supposed to be okay, they're still player assistants. There's a reason why they're still there.
I agree.
And we have other guys, Sanjay Lal, receivers coach. We'll see what he can do out there. Okay, we're going to see what Gary Brown staying with the Cowboys can do. You know, the new Paul Alexander with his run blocking scheme / zone blocking scheme, offensive line. Strategies. We're going to see how that's going to help improve the passing game and the running game. We're going to see these things and see if these things produce. I hope that ball boy, towel boy guy doesn't become the tight end coach. That's what I've heard. So I don't even know his name.
I mean, that would suck, but...
Let's go through some questions, guys. I don't mean
Space Cowboy 17, we'll go ahead and mod you up here in just a minute. But Brian Bradford, the coaches we hired today. So, Kevin Bilbo, you missed it right at the beginning of the stream. Yes, it's pretty much 99.9% official that Kellen Moore is going to be the new quarterback coach for the Cowboys. And we just hired Chris Richard as our... Man, you're the one that says
defensive backs coach, but he's a defensive backfield coach. So basically, he's doing the cornerback, safety. That's his job. But then he's also the overseer of the passing game coordinator. And passing game coordinator means defensive passing game. So he's watching. He's basically controlling the defensive backs. What's their main thing? I mean, they have to tackle and do stuff, but they are watching the pass. And he also is the defensive pass game coordinator. So that means he's watching the entire defense. So he's working with Sean Lee's. He's working with some of the linemen that had to drop back in short zone coverages and that kind of stuff, quick slants and stop those things. He's going to work with the scheming of the defense. That's a good sign. And overseen by Rod Marinelli.
Oh, is it Chris Rickard? I thought you said Richard.
That's what I thought it was. Is it Richard or Rickard? I'm just reading what it says here. It says Richard here. It says here Richard, but maybe it was
it says Richard. I don't know.
Maybe it's pronounced Rickard. Either way, much love to you, man. We love you.
Spelled Richard. We're going with Richard. we'll keep it rolling for now. So give Moore a chance. No, and you know what? I said, I'm not too upset about Kellen Moore as our quarterback coach. I am willing to give him a chance. I do think that he, definitely helped Dak be more successful in 2016. Obviously Tony Romo had a lot to do with that as well. But, Kellen Moore played his part. But, other than that, you got to give him a chance. And I'm just happy he's not on the field. I hate to keep saying
we've talked about him. Exactly. That's one way of getting him out of there and not giving up our secrets or using. Maybe he is a great coach and somebody else takes him away. So at least.
Cesar, thanks for joining us here. So and Space Cowboy 17. As far as the whole life lesson thing, man. I mean, we all go through
tough times in life, guys.
And it always sucks, but it takes a real honest person to admit when they messed up too, and it's not easy to do.
That's the hardest part.
Props, man.
It's easy to say when you did something right.
So, life will continue and things will get better, I promise. Man. But it does suck right
You obviously
now.
have a good character and a good work habit and all that. So, just I wouldn't, get too down on yourself on that, bro.
So, we good to go?
I'm just trying to see something here. I can't get this working.
Can you refresh it without messing anything up or no?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be it. It's just a lot of chat or something. I don't know. Anyways, guys, let's get back to some of these questions. I want to go. Can you go back maybe and answer some of these? Let me ask some of these questions.
He said he's over it because we hired Richard. So it seems like overall, Space Cowboy 17. Can't wait to see your video later. It seems like overall most of us are pretty happy. Chris Richard is on his way to the Cowboys. It definitely still some conflict whether or not Earl Thomas will follow him or not. We'll see. As far as the Cowboys making the right moves, at least this is one coaching decision I do feel happy about that maybe won't be completely puppet controlled by Garrett.
Well, I do think Chris Richard is the kind of coach that is a no-nonsense type of guy from what I've heard of him. All right, and Chris Richard. The thing is that he has. I actually even like him better than Everfluss, and I'm not sure why he was so great or not.
Well, let's see him in action first. Yeah, so in Dallas Cowboy Football News with the $5 super chat. Thank you, man.
What's up, brother?
Thank you for joining us here today. And again, guys, if you haven't already checked out Dallas Cowboy Football News, he was part of our big, Space Cowboy 17 hosted this big roundtable, mega chat. Dallas Cowboy Football News part of it. Space Cowboy 17, of course. We had DJ Crown J, 5th Quarter Cowboys. We had LL Cowboys Legend 27, and of course ourselves. Fiance here was part of it, and it was great. If you haven't already checked it out, make sure to do so. And check out every single one of those guys' channels. We have some great stuff out there. You're missing out if you haven't already checked it out. And Dallas Cowboy Football News puts out some great stuff. Thank you for your support, man. And
yes, brother.
Cowboys
Thank you, man.
Chris Richard is a solid hire.
You made some great points on that night. So, guys, if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. Space Cowboy 17 has it.
Yeah, and Buddy John said we might have Baby Boom. That's the thing. We might not have the Legion of Boom, but we might have Baby Boom this year. How about that? We're already basically a top 10 defense. I'm hopeful he can make positive changes on here. So, hashtag Baby Boom. You heard it here first. I don't know. Instead of Legion of Boom. So, Cowboys Abroad said Rico gathers. So, as far as Rico, there hasn't been any real updates, but we do know 100% that, he recovered fully from that concussion. It sounds like it wasn't as major as they made it sound. It was definitely serious, but, Cowboys definitely were making the right moves as far as roster spots and things like that when it came to Rico's injury. Yeah. So, that's a good thing because it just means that Rico's healthy, ready to go. I was excited what we saw from training camp last year. I'm hopeful he'll stay healthy and be able to go out there. And Witten will hopefully mold and help guide him into a good role here. Space Cowboy 17 with a $10 super chat. Make sure to check me out at the Mark Holmes stream at 9:40.
That's right, guys.
You don't want to miss it. Space Cowboy 17 is going live with the Joe.
Yeah, later on tonight, guys, 9:45. Yes. Space Cowboy is going to be on, so tune in for that at Mark Holmes.
So, and thank you again, Space
Yes,
Cowboy
man.
17.
Thank you, brother. And
by
the way, I'm doing this one at a time
that's right.
here.
He gets.
But you are winning the super chat right now. You're in first place, and we're doing kind of a separate thing here, a little
Rico's
separate
a rapper now.
Because we got exactly. Rico is a rapper now, which we'll see if that makes a difference next year. But he's our producer. He's done now. I want to say Dallas Cowboy Football News was number one. Now he's number 2. But because I'm doing it for next week too, so I'm putting you guys on here. But Space Cowboys number 1 right now with a tiebreaker. This is also going for a tiebreaker for who wins the donation stream here at Bar and the advertising and all that stuff for you guys. Whatever you want us to post on here, we will.
And
the whole entire
whatever
week
you want on
plus.
there, we'll put it up there, man. So in Space Cowboy 17 right now, you are taking the lead.
You're in first, and DJ Crown J is in second. And so right now, boy, you are the winner. as of right now.
So Cowboys Abroad said, I'm playing the homie D Will. So Bionic Cam said, mine. So
man. So
DJ Crown J saying it's cool. He got his sunglasses on, he's chilling.
Yeah, and check out his page too, guys, and subscribe to him.
Yes, and guys, if you haven't already, make sure to hit like on the stream. It really does help out our channel.
Yes.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live. We'll still be updating you every single day on the Dallas Cowboys. And for those of you guys who aren't going to watch the Super Bowl, come and watch it with us, and
we'll be here.
Come and not watch it with us,
Yeah,
I should say, because we will be watching it because it's kind of like a car wreck. You can't do anything but watch.
Well,
unfortunately, but we're gonna be very sad on stream.
Yeah.
What can I say, guys? But make sure to join us here because we'll still be breaking it all down for you and giving you guys our quality commentary, even on the commercials.
Yes. And of course, someone like who drops a $10 like that, Space Cowboy already got his sent out. Hopefully you got it soon here. But we give away our My Cowboys family
wristbands, guys.
Yes.
So when you guys do help support the channel, whether through Patreon or here through Super Chat, and we're looking into other ways as well, guys. It really does. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts because we know you guys work hard for your money, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys, your support and your appreciation for the channel and what we do, what we try, and we of course. This all goes towards the channel, whether it's going to Dallas or going to improve the camera or going to improve the lighting.
Yes, or fix the mic.
Fix the microphone, which is not working, guys.
It really does help us out and lets us continue to do what we do and help us grow as well. Yeah. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. Now, speaking of Jason Witten, which I was just about to say something about him. So we were just talking about Jason Witten, and here's the thing, guys. He was just named to the Pro Bowl. We remember yesterday we were talking about which players would be. Maybe a Cowboy guy could sneak in there. I didn't think they'd pick Jason Witten, but they are picking Jason Witten.
DJ Crown J.
Oh, there he is.
With a $50 super chat, man.
A huge one right there, guys.
Talk about dropping bombs.
Wow, there he goes.
Space Cowboy 17, I give up. Oh, you know what? DJ Crown J, thank you so much, man. Thank you for your continued support here at My Cowboys family. I mean, you broke Space Cowboy 17. What can I say? You broke us. That throws in the towel. So there you go, guys. Again, thank you so much for all of you guys, whether it's a $1 or $2 or whatever, or just hanging out, chatting with us here, giving us your thoughts, your feedback, liking the stream, all that. Thank you for all of your support. But an extra special thank you to DJ Crown J.
Yes.
For that $50 bomb, and to you as well, Space Cowboy 17.
He just wanted to put it out of the misery.
Thank you. That's it. He's closing up.
So now we're gonna I guess. We are going to move it to like this now, you see. Sorry, guys. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead a couple other questions. I'll finish talking about Jason Witten and the Pro Bowl because we're going to the Pro Bowl.
Said throws in the towel. DJ Crown J's just got his glasses on chilling. So, and again, man, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I mean, again, no words. Lots of words, but they're just the same words over and over again. Chapo Rick King said, NFL is rigged. Congratulations to the Patriots for another Super Bowl sadness. So, Cowboys Abroad, you bring up a great point. It was actually on our list of things to talk about, and I'm glad you brought it up now. He said, Brady 6 or Philly first. I'm going to start this off with one thing. If you are a true Dallas Cowboy fan, there's only one right answer.
You know it.
And that's it. That's it. The end of discussion.
Dallas Cowboy
point blank
fan.
Period. No ifs, ands, or buts.
That's correct.
That's how it works,
100%
guys.
agree.
If you are a real Dallas Cowboy fan, there's only one answer. And it sucks. It's not a good answer, but it's the one we got. And that's you want the Patriots to get 6 rings. You'd rather the Patriots get 1,000,000 rings if it means the Eagles never get 1. And that's the harsh reality of life in the NFC East.
I agree. And again,
you can disagree with me all you want. But that's just my
and in DJ Crown J, guys, just so you know, with that big $50 drop, make sure you go to his channel right now. He just put out a new video minutes before we went live. It was a great tandem. I love the way kind of a lot of some of our, it almost is like when I go onto YouTube, when it comes to whether it's us here, My Cowboys family, DJ Crown J putting a video out, Space Cowboy with multiple streams a day, DJ Dallas Cowboy Football News, who puts out daily content sometimes and often very important really information, stuff. Important great points. I mean, unbelievable points. And when you put all those guys together, along with Cowboys legend 27, who's the wild child of the bunch, he really gives it to you the way he feels. The way it didn't matter. So you gotta love that attitude, guys, and you gotta love all these guys. It seems like whenever I go on YouTube, anytime after 3 in the afternoon, there's something going on in the live stream world with these Cowboy guys, and so gotta say, love just to be part of it, and it's awesome, and we're honored, and we're basically new, like kind of like we're the Cowboy, we're babies to this. We're kind of like a Space Cowboy and DJ Crown J. We're youths in this world right now, so we just happy to be mentioned and be part of this thing.
Yeah, and SCFL Network, don't worry, man. I know you're a Panthers fan, so you rooting for the Eagles makes total sense because you just want the Patriots to go down, and that's why
you have no hatred for them.
Exactly, and I understand that, but that's the thing. Our hatred or dislike, I should say, our disdain for the Eagles getting anywhere close to a Super Bowl, it is much greater than our dislike, disdain, hatred for the Pats getting another ring.
I hate them too, but the hate's a little
Cowboys
different.
Abroad said if the Eagles put it off, every team in the NFC East will have at least one ring.
That's true. That's the first. I think that'll be the first time.
The Eagles are the redheaded stepchild of the
redheaded. They're like the
green-haired stepchild. There you
disgusting.
Go. Just saying. I don't know. All those good ring jokes all to waste, man. For this now. I mean.
Listen,
I don't know. I don't know.
Brady getting 5, Brady getting 5, Brady getting 6. Honestly, makes no difference at this point. He's already the GOAT, and Belichick's the GOAT. Let's just give it up to them. Nothing's going to change. They lose. Okay. Now, it'll make Foles a freaking hero to unbelievable standards. He'd be like Rocky.
And Eagle fans, please let us know, what do you do in this scenario? Because realistically speaking, Wentz is better. But what do you do with Nick Foles now that he won you the Super Bowl? I mean, I know it wasn't all him, but still.
He had to do something to get you
there.
What
do you do?
It's crazy. So
let us know what you think.
Speaking of the Eagles, since they are in the Super Bowl, Zach Ertz is not in it. So now they replaced his tight end position with, like I said, Jason Witten. Before the big drop there, we had to stop the whole thing. But Jason Witten now is in his 11th Pro Bowl of his career, tying him for the most on the Cowboys' history with Bob Lilly.
Wow.
So that's an unbelievable feat for Jason Witten, who's on the end of his career. Maybe might not even taste it ever again. This is just like the last foot in there. So it's an awesome accomplishment. And guys,
and hopefully we'll be able to see him out there doing his thing.
Yeah, we are very, very excited to be out there now to see another Cowboy. Now we're not going to just see Frederick and Tyron Smith and DeMarcus Lawrence, but now we'll have a chance to maybe run into Jason Witten.
I thought Tyron Smith said he wasn't going.
Oh, he's not going, Tyron Smith? I don't know. I thought that Zach Martin's out.
I know Zach Martin's out.
Okay,
I thought I heard something about Tyron Smith, but you know what? I could be wrong, so I don't want to say anything.
I'm not sure if Tyron Smith's going. Yeah. Either way, we know Travis Frederick will be there. Tank Lawrence will be there, and we know that Jason Witten's going to be there.
Yes. And Ancient Brooks said, did you see my comment from earlier when I said Kuiper has us taking Hurst over Vea?
Who has it?
Kuiper. I don't know who Kuiper is, but taking Hurst over.
Well, maybe in is that 2.0 mock draft? Because in 0.1 he had Vita Vea with the Cowboys.
Okay.
Just saying. I know that for a fact, but I saw it with my own eyes.
And Jared Goff goes to his first Pro Bowl as well. I mean, yeah. Mr. Mike says he thinks the Eagles might be able to pull this off. And again, that's the thing. We saw the Patriots almost go down to the Jacksonville defense, and the only defense that stands a candle to that is the Vikings and the Eagles right now. And the Vikings just got destroyed by this puny offense, apparently. So
they're doing something right.
I don't know what to say. Exactly.
And it's scary. I would not put anything.
I don't want it to happen. I'm hoping.
I would not overlook the Eagles.
Belichick brings out every trick in the book, deflates all the balls he needs to.
But remember this, guys. He did get beat in the against the Giants when you didn't think it was going to be possible. He got defeated by them.
He did.
He's hopefully that keeps it in his head, and maybe he'll say, I don't want that happening to me this time. Not that he's undefeated, but that a team that's is not even supposed to, even though they're a number 1 seed, shouldn't even be there. Now I want to talk about the number 1 seed in a minute here. With a backup quarterback in that situation, and that brings up a great point. And I heard Cowboys legends saying this earlier. But is Wentz really an MVP if you can win a Super Bowl without him? An MVP you need to have to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So that's a great question. I thought he brought that up. The reasoning why LL said that's the reason why he's not an MVP. Wentz. And I have to say, I agree with that mindset, because I never thought of him as an MVP player. I thought he was an MVP candidate, Wentz. But you can see he's kind of exposed, and it's not exposed. He's not exposed, and I'm not saying he can't be an MVP. I guess an MVP player for another team, but maybe the team is what's better about this. The defense is what's better about it. The offensive line and the coaching. It's what's better than the actual quarterback. Now, not taking anything away from Wentz. He's awesome. And, of course, Foles, he's doing fantastic.
I agree. So, but again, if they could do it with Foles, do they really need Wentz? That's kind of the point.
It's not the point. It's not only the point, though. It's also is it the system and the coaching that helps make these quarterbacks better than they are.
I think it just exposes, again, our own downfalls in coaching and stuff, because
Correct.
we have the opposite.
I agree.
We had
100%.
all the talent. We have all the talent.
It's not all talent. It's coaching and the brains.
And that's kind of the point there.
So I wanted
Cowboys Abroad has said shutdown's over. I have to go back tomorrow. Well, I hope you.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's good.
It's good and bad, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you still got paid these last few days,
I
but
think so.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But back
well, at
to
least
the
it's
grind,
over, though,
right? Yeah.
I guess.
Well, February 8th, but we'll see, guys.
So listen, here's the thing about back to Jason Witten. He has made the Pro Bowl in 2004 all the way to 2010. All right, then missed it in 2011. And then made it from 2012 to 2014. Missed it last year.
In 15, you mean?
I'm sorry, 2012, 13, 14. He missed it in 15 and 16.
Oh, okay.
And went back in 17. So, just saying.
I'm surprised he missed it in 20. Like, I mean, now that I think about it, I do remember he wasn't there. But I am surprised he missed it in 2016 because we used him pretty well that year.
Yeah, but that was last year? Yeah, I mean.
No, 2016. Yeah, but I guess not to his usual standards.
Yeah, I just think, I agree. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think he was one of the snubs out there, Now, I did want to make a quick comment here about the Giants, the New York Giants. If any Giant fans out there, let me know. But the Giants officially announced their new head coach today, signed Pat Shurmur. All right. Now I know this name. I've heard of him throughout the NFL coaching ranks. I've heard good things for the most part about him. But let me know what you guys think about Pat Shurmur and what kind of a head coach he's going to be for the New York Giants.
And especially all you Giants fans out there, let us know what you think about your new head coach. Are you hopeful? Are you happy? Are you
Yeah.
So Cowboys Abroad said, no pay, but I like the day off. So glad you got at least a day off and got to chill back. Glad you spent a little bit of it here with us as well.
Thank you, family.
Hopefully the weather, our weather's not that bad now. I know you're not a fan.
I don't like it. It's over 70 degrees. It's too hot.
Did you guys know that Florida was the hottest place in the United States today?
I did not know that.
They announced it. Yeah, it was kind of a little fact. So we were the warmest place today.
2 days ago we were in freezing temperatures, and then now we're
back where I like it. Yeah. So at least.
But no global warming, of course. Anyways, sorry. But I was going to say, guys, the question that some people asked about the Patriots winning 6 and the Eagles winning 1. There was a big poll on the Cowboys site today. It was like, I don't know, 10,000 people. And they said that about 84% of the people said the Patriots winning the 6th Super Bowl, they would go for that over the Eagles winning it. And 16% of the people said the Eagles winning. There's 16% of the fans that are not really Cowboy fans.
Yeah, so, and again, their excuses, kind of what someone else mentioned here that, oh, well, that means everyone in the NFC East has at least one ring and we're respected. It's like, excuse me, that's not how this works.
It's not like the college conferences where you have to pump up your conference to get better games and get more out there and be known. No, it's not about that. It's about rivalries within teams and that live forever. Within players and fans and coaches and whatever. I mean, in all facets of football. So it's bigger than that. It's bigger than your division. It's not so important in the NFL as far as division proudness, at least for the Cowboys, because we care about Super Bowls, not division titles. It's just we had 25 in a row, I think, with Tom Landry. So we don't have to worry much about 25 playoff appearances in a row, but we had 20 of those were titles for the Cowboys, aside from the Redskins a couple of times. It was the Cowboys and Redskins a little bit in there. So we controlled it. It was such a big deal that it's like, that's nice to have. All right, put it in the backpack and let's keep going. It's not a big deal. It's not like a trophy you put up on your wall. That's the Super Bowl. That's the only trophy that matters, not the conference championship, none of that. It's just Super Bowl. That's all. And the Eagles have 0. The only thing is if they win 1, okay, it stops Brady from having 6, and it gives them 1, but they still only have 1. But we have to hear crap for a year, and that's, and we don't want them to have 1. We don't want them to have any, the Eagles. Trust me, Cowboy fans. Trust me, the true ones out there. And we talked about Byron Jones already. His one of his more, he could cover tight ends and he could be a dime linebacker. So look for that possibility. Now, of the 9 out of the 10 number 1 seeds in the NFL, so the last 5 years, 1 seed in the AFC, 1 seed in the NFC. Out of the last 5 years, the last 9 out of the 10 number 1 seeds have made the Super Bowl, with the exception of 1 team.
Guess who, guys?
You guessed it. The 2016 Dallas Cowboys. Last year.
Woohoo. Philadelphia Sportsnet said, hey, I hate the Patriots more than the Cowboys. Well, Philadelphia Sportsnet, thanks for joining us here. That's definitely interesting to say.
Are you younger, a younger fan, or are you? Because if you were back there and you remember the 80s and 90s, I think you'd hate the Cowboys more.
Oh my goodness! Cowboys Abroad Super Bowl tickets are $4,500.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and
okay.
that's for,
I'm
like,
watching
the
on TV.
nosebleeds.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of the
Sorry,
Super Bowl, guys,
not worth
one
it.
last thing. Bill Belichick, you got to give props to the first and foremost. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for getting to the Super Bowl. And again, two upsets, in my opinion, two upsets to get to the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Got to give it up to the Cinderella. It was going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Eagles, the Cinderella teams, or even the Vikings, with their backups. But it was unfortunate that the Jags lost. When it comes to the Eagles, it's unfortunate they won. But the thing is that they got to give them congratulations where it's due. They earned this, guys. This is what the Cowboys should be looking towards to say, hey, we need to do that. We need to kind of emulate what these Eagles are doing in their front office, in their coaching staff, and with their players. And I'm not really have any big beef with our abilities that we have on the Cowboys. I like what we have, but we have to be able to have better coaches to go along with that talent and develop it better. And that is the big difference between us and them.
And it's clear to see now.
And it trickles down to the depth. It trickles down to the coin toss. It trickles down to adjustments. It trickles down to every damn thing.
All of it. So, yes. And of course, guys, DJ Crown J has his own YouTube channel. I dropped the link in the chat down below. Make sure to go ahead and check it out. Yes, he is our winner for the 5th week in a row. Here is our weekly Super Chat leaderboard. So, guys, make sure to go and sub it up to him. DJ, I can't wait to have you back on here on the channel where we're trying to work through some other technical stuff as well, and especially with this dumb mic, but we're gonna get everything fixed, and hopefully we can do a collab between our both official channels now that you have yours up and running.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
That would be an awesome little collaboration. And even with that, I wouldn't even mind. I would actually hope that, and I'm sure DJ Crown J wouldn't have a problem, but not just that, but throwing in Space Cowboy in there to do it, maybe help out in some way.
Can't wait to watch your video as well. We'll definitely be tuned for that, guys.
Sure.
We have some great content creators all throughout our little Cowboys community.
Teams, yeah.
So make sure to let me see.
So, anyways, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will be, and that's I gave props to the Eagles, but let's give props to the master team of the 21st century. Let's be real. 21st century has been one team in the NFL that's really the dominant team. It's not even a dynasty; it's dominance. Okay, it's bigger than dynasty with these. They're 20 years into this thing, and basically, and they are just winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl. So Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will be appearing in their 8th Super Bowl together. They have one extra one. They had 2 extra ones, so they have 10 Super Bowls. They have way past us, Dallas Cowboys, and as far as appearances. So the Patriots are 10 Super Bowls that appeared in, 8 with Brady and Belichick, which is twice as many as any head coach or quarterback combination. So that means 4 is the most, which is Chuck Noll and Terry Bradshaw.
As much as you might dislike the Patriots, you have to admit that whatever they're doing works.
Yeah.
It works.
So Chuck Noll, I'm still off the top of my head here. Chuck Noll with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Terry Bradshaw. Bill Walsh with Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't know if I can think of any other ones. Either way, though, maybe you go Jim Kelly and I'm not saying you have to be winning them, but Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills, they were in 4 in a row with Marv Levy. So there's another combination, guys. Hey, look, I just hit some trivia questions there, I think. But, I mean, as far as maybe even the Vikings with Bud Grant, 4 Super Bowls for them in the 70s, probably the same coach. So when you look at all these guys, it's at least four coaches there. I'm assuming Tom Landry. Well, no, not Tom Landry. Yeah. He had 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 4. So he definitely was another one, too. But he might have had different quarterbacks. I'm trying to think if he had Roger Staubach for the first one. Look, either way, guys, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh. Now you got, Brady and Belichick has done it for double that. Double of all those guys.
8 years, guys.
8 years. 8 Super Bowls. So they are also Brady is also the first 40-year-old quarterback to start a Super Bowl
ever.
So you can't get mad at the Jimmy Garoppolo thing because honestly,
Brady.
Can you who would you rather have in there? Would you have Garoppolo for your future and miss the Super Bowl, or have Brady in there being the favorites in the Super Bowl? I mean, there's no question. You got to sacrifice your future a little bit in this situation.
The Patriots went for the right now instead of the maybe
later.
That's the
right thing.
And that's the right thing to do in this instance. They're writing out Brady till the end. That's what you got to do, and
for sure.
It's somewhat likely he gets you guys that 6th ring thereafter. So. Cowboys abroad, fiance thought Space Cowboy 17 won too, and then he did the math. So
it was literally It was a $2 drop that happened on Sunday night of last week, and that's what happened. It was a $2 difference. That's what it was that Space Cowboy had won by, but it's on the wrong day. And look, I want to be as fair as possible, and that's the thing, guys. I could have said Space Cowboy won or whatever, but I would be unfair to DJ Crown J if that was the case. So I thought that was the only fair thing to do, honestly speaking. But this is all going towards next week as well. So as you can see on top there, we got DJ Crown J. Even though I have him tied, he's not now. He's officially number 1 for the week. Space Cowboys number 2 for the week. Dallas Cowboy Football News is number 3 for the week. And we have nobody else after that right now. So it started already, guys, this week, this new week. Let's roll it up and see what happens, guys. If we're ready, we had a great start.
Thank you once again for all your support from before and all that. And please, we understand. Thank you so much for bearing with us as well with little G sick. He's feeling much better, and me sick a little bit previously before that, but thankfully we're all on the mend. We're all feeling okay. So that bruh video is going to drop ASAP, especially for those of you guys who did support through Patreon. So I just want to apologize again because I know we said we would have it out last week, but bear with us, please. Number 1, first and foremost, is of course this channel and the Cowboys news, and we want to make sure we're always keeping up with that. So unfortunately the bruh video got a little postponed, but we're still bringing it. It's still coming. Don't worry. So, and Santa Claus is back. So,
what's up?
Let me see. So, Philadelphia Sportsnet said the reason we lost the first game last year against you guys was because of Doug Peterson's dumb play calling.
Interesting. I mean, I
mean, play calling affects every game, but you can't say it was only that.
For sure. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, there's no way. And, it was a lot of different things. There was some play calling. It wasn't being, maybe that situation is not being executed, the way that Vash Lombardi says about our Cowboys. But they were at least trying to do the right thing. For the most part, whether it was being tough or trying to establish the run or trying to, get out there and really, impose themselves. They tried. They had a new team, a young team, and it didn't work. But when they added a couple new pieces, a completely different team. So again, they did start off great last year. If you do remember, they were undefeated for like 5 weeks. If you remember, I'm pretty sure they were, and I think they beat the Vikings to give them their first loss. So the Eagles were rolling last year, but the wheels came off. A couple of different things happened, and I don't know. Maybe they learned from those mistakes. You just can't fire a guy after 1 year, So after that, you see the improvement when the management went and took the next step and made the right moves, smart moves, got in the right guys, and the offensive. I'm assuming that the GM and Peterson, head coach, and even his coordinators, they all had input on what they were looking for out there in free agency, what they were looking for out there in the draft, not just and down to the last moment of free agency. That's why they were able to get Jay Ajayi. So when you look at these things, they are lasting moves that even though Ajayi might not be for the long term, they're doing it for now. Even though the Patriots are going to be hurting when it comes to replacing someone like Tom Brady in the long term, they're worried about winning Super Bowls now. And look who's in the Super Bowl now. Both these teams.
They
did it the right way.
So, what are you going to do? And then, Santa Claus, CFL's making a video. I heard that too. So Philadelphia Sports says Brady is my most hated player. I mean, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
So, actually, no. You can dislike the player. Go ahead. The game's great. Oh, just kidding, guys. No, look, Brady's a polarizing player. You either love him or you hate him. Obviously, we're firmly on the
we don't like Brady. Just probably in the beginning. I mean, I didn't like him before his multiple Super Bowls. I kind of was like, I just don't. He just looks like a douche. Yeah. So I just like whatever. But so I don't really care about him. And again, and then you think about, then later on he gets this super model wife, and he gets Super Bowl ring after Super Bowl ring. I guess every person out there has some jealousy towards that in some way. I'm sure that has something to do with it.
I don't know. Have you ever heard Giselle talking? I mean,
no, I'm not even talking about.
Doesn't make me jealous at all.
No, I'm not even talking about jealous about that. Just saying this guy has everything.
Yeah.
Everything, like the big everything,
Yeah.
and maybe deservedly so. But I'm just trying to say it's a natural human emotion, I guess you would say, to feel, oh, F that guy, he stinks. He doesn't stink,
Well, it's more, Philadelphia Sportsnet kind of hints at it's the fact that he's a cheater, too. It's not so much that he has these things. Right. It's the fact that we feel like he's gotten them through being a cheater, doing things dishonestly, or, because no one's sitting here up in arms about Steph Curry, are they? I mean, that guy's same thing. He has a beautiful wife. You know, he has a beautiful family.
I'm going to ask you guys a question out there.
I'm one of the top players.
I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Career,
what do you think would have happened if? Do you think that's because of Tom Brady? Or do you think it's because of Bill Belichick and the way he does things? Because I think the way he does things made Brady say, I'm going to do those things too in football because you do anything to win. So let me just say that if Brady was under Garrett, I don't think he has that killer instinct. Just saying. Good or bad. Or ugly even with the cheating. But he has that killer instinct. Do anything to win. I don't like that. You have to have that Witten mindset, integrity. But Witten has 0 rings. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So there you go, guys. Integrity gets you on the Dallas Cowboys. Being a cheater gets you 6
Super Bowl rings, possibly.
So, that's always.
Don't forget, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for the stream. Hit the like button.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live.
Correct, guys.
We're here every day.
Yeah, and we have our big winner. You can still see the $50 drop up there.
And our giveaway, of course, guys. Make sure check out the link in the description down below, guys. We do have our giveaway running until this Friday. Just a small way for us to say thank you to all of you guys for supporting us here. And
you have to be a subscriber.
Yes.
That's the main.
But go ahead and follow the link in the description down below. We'll be selecting a winner this Friday, or the system Gleam. They will be selecting a winner for us this Friday, and you can get a bonus entry for following us on Twitter. So make sure to go through that, and
it's important you follow us on Twitter too, guys, because sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications.
That's right.
When they don't do that, we're sitting here with 4 people talking to them and just answering every single question they have. It's great, but we usually have 10 to 30 sometimes, and we had 30 in here. So there's a lot of chat, there's a lot of stuff going on, and we want to try to answer as many of your questions as possible. So.
Is there any other Cowboy news other than those coaching hires?
To me, so basically, to me, Chris Richard, whichever you say it. The deal with him, guys, is that he is almost getting as good as getting a good player. All right, back there in the defensive backfield. I do think that this guy who worked with the Legion of Doom, helped create it, worked with their defensive backs. He's our defensive backs coach, but more importantly, he's the passing game coordinator, meaning for the defense, he's basically the overseer of the passing game and how to stop it using the pass rush. He has input on that. The linebackers, he has input on that, and of course, he's the defensive backs coach for the cornerbacks and safety. So, what I'm trying to say is, he's the next in line for the defensive coordinator after Marinelli retires, which could possibly as early as this year, but possibly next year, more realistically next season. So he's the defensive coordinator in the wings, waiting in the wings to take over for Marinelli. This is a huge, big move that can make our defense. This year we were a top 10 defense. We were a 10th ranked defense overall in the NFL, and we were 8th ranked in multiple allowed yards categories, whether it's passing or running, and overall points allowed. The whole thing. We were one of the top teams. I think 13th we came in, or even higher than that when it came to allowing defensive points allowed. Points our defense allowed by the offenses. So my point is, he's going to improve this team tremendously. I truly think so. With being from Seattle and that whole thing.
Agree.
Another big plus he can do, which has been a rumor thing since Earl Thomas went to the locker room and talked to Jason Garrett, with Chris Richard being the Dallas Cowboys' eventual defensive coordinator, but currently the overseer of the passing game on defense. You can see someone like Earl Thomas being traded to the Dallas Cowboys. Realistically, now it's much more realistic than it was 2 months ago when this whole thing started up.
Even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago it was more of a heated topic. Still is not as big as it is now when we have this guy. So when you think about that, it is craziness, guys. Slim Shady dropping the $2.
$2 holla.
Woo!
Said bam.
Wow.
I will beat DJ. Good luck with that.
You got ways to go.
If you want to try, you can go for it. We're not saying no, but we're saying, I don't know.
We're saying probably not, but you can. Hey, Slim Shady Eminem, you can do that. You could probably make a run at it one day.
So he's just waiting for those taxes, right?
That's awesome. Thank you, Slimmy.
Thank you, Slim Shady. Whether it's a $2 holla or a $50 bomb like DJ Crown J did, or Space Cowboy 17 with the support, Dallas Cowboy Football News with the support.
Yeah, man.
All of you guys, thank you so much for all of your continued support of us here, and it still blows me away. Thank you guys.
Yes.
So let me see. Tampa Bay Gaming says Slim Shady, too early to say it. It just started. So, but no, I don't know. Don't never say never, especially not. That's a real Eminem, real Slim Shady. All you gotta do is to go
that's crazy.
Bam.
Thank you, Slim Shady.
DJ said, ha ha, never. So Kevin Bilbo says that he thinks our defense will be top 5. If we were able to be top 10 the way we are now, I think there's no reason why we can't go top 5.
You're adding.
If we make the right moves, far we're making the right moves.
So you're adding a great defensive coordinator. I'm going to call this Chris Richard.
Yeah.
That he's going to work with our rookies and our defensive backs. Fantastic. Get Orlando Skandrick the hell out of there. Maybe you can do something with Heath out there. Who knows? One last hurrah with him. In my opinion, we got extend him one more chance for Heath. My point is, you got those guys. You got the linebackers, Jalen Smith, Hitchens. If you re-sign him, you got Sean Lee, a couple rookies, whatever. Defensive front. If you could have one of the better ones in the league if you really can develop these guys like Taco, like Tapper, and anybody we pick up like Vita Villa. Okay, and then you have on top of that Irving, Law, and maybe Crawford. So now you have these guys, and if you get Earl Thomas back there, we're top 5 easy. Easy top 5, I think, with our new coach. I do think we can easily. It would be a disappointment if we're not top 5, and that in itself will help this team in ways that we haven't seen since the 92, 93, 94, the 90s Cowboys, when we were number 1 defense in the NFL with a bunch of teamwork, not really one spectacular player. In the last Super Bowl when we beat Pittsburgh, yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers, we ripped Deion Sanders away from the San Francisco 49ers, who won it the year who broke our possible 4-win streak in the Super Bowl. And we got him on the Cowboys. We won the Super Bowl that year. That was what big name guy. And the guy we did take away from the 49ers after they won their Super Bowl, before we had won any Super Bowls, was Charles Haley. We got him on our team. Boom, domination. So that again, you get one guy that's like a big enough name. It can sway. It could turn the tide. But in the meantime, the Cowboys pretty much did things with a team effort back then, and I think it was a team defense. This year, we have that Sean Lee. We have that DeMarcus Lawrence or David Irving, but we have a lot of guys. Jalen Smith, a lot of rookies, a lot of other guys that are in there that could possibly, be a superstar. But we only need one maybe. And we already have kind of Sean Lee. So if these guys can produce and we get a couple guys in there, a couple vets in there just as depth, but get these rookies in there, we're going to get in the draft. I think our defense is going to be a top 5 defense with this Chris Richard, with all these pieces that are coming in and the improvements we're going to see from these rookies. I hope no second-year slumps from any of these guys. But I do think we're going to be in great shape with what we have with this defense. Now, when the defense is going to succeed, what happens to the offense? Well, the offense better start rolling. They better start running and getting fed with Zeke. We need that. So we work with Will Hernandez there, getting him in there in the second round. I think he's from UTEP or I don't know where, but
something like that. Yeah, but
you get him out there and re-sign Cooper. Maybe get a receiver here and there, John Brown, out there in the from the Cardinals, or even a Dante Moncrief. Put these guys in your team. Try to get these guys. You can make the room. You re-sign Zach Martin. You get DeMarcus Lawrence on a franchise tag. You have a 2-year a second round tender on Irving. You re-sign Hitchens and you restructure a couple contracts, cut a couple guys. The Cowboys are ready to roll, guys, Super Bowl style. I'm telling you. I'm confident we can do it.
100%. So,
just
DJ Crown J,
coaches.
your video quality was amazing, man.
Amazing. Fantastic.
Your lighting was really good. We could hear you very clearly. Your editing was really well done. The music in the back, in the back and the end. Was spot on. I mean, it was very clear.
Yeah, I love the way you did that.
Great job, and again, the way you broke everything down. Everything worked out perfectly. So, and I like the length of your video too. Like took a good time explaining it, working through everything. So it's I love it. So.
And I think that when you have something like that, a lot of people like to use like little pictures or GIFs, on the screen while it's moving to kind of show what you're talking about. Yeah. And I've seen people do that. The thing is that I don't know what the copyright rules are. That we would do that too for our videos if we could, but we don't know what the copyright rules are going to be, if they're going to not monetize you or say
or copyright strike your channel.
Right, exactly. That's the thing that you don't want. Monetizing is one thing, but if you get hit 3 times because of using NFL films or whatever, then I didn't want to risk it. Could have probably done it. I just said, what? Hopefully my words and our chats on here, the interaction is enough. Reading the news is enough for the fans. And I'm talking about that's what we said the other day in our 1,000 subscriber special, that we like to combine all these news sources into one news hour, right here with the Cowboys, talk about that and talk about it with you guys. So, we don't hit every single question. If you want to get the questions hit for sure, as we get bigger, it's going to be harder. So that's why we have Super Chat in there, active after 1,000. That's the reason why they make it active only after 1,000, because you get chats like this where you cannot hit every single question when you're reading news, you're talking about your feelings about the Cowboys or about other teams in the NFL. So, it's important that we have that, and that's a way of getting our question. But we still try to go through all the questions as best we can. So if we don't do it, make sure you comment below.
We're not ignoring you. We're doing our best. And, make sure to leave a comment after the stream as well. We always check out the comments afterwards, guys. So Cowboys Abroad said, Jalen Smith will be a superstar this year. I really hope so. And Eagles 01, thanks for joining us here. I think it goes without saying that we are rooting for the Patriots like never before. But it's wrong and dirty, and it doesn't feel good to do it, but we don't want to see you guys get a ring, and that's just us being truthful.
It's being real. I mean,
keeping it real. So
between those two, 84% of the Cowboy fans that were polled said that they'd rather see the Patriots win the Super Bowl than the Eagles win 6 Super Bowls and the Eagles win 1 Super Bowl.
Those are 16% of illegitimate Cowboy fans. Yeah, it's to the left.
They don't really. They must be just really young. I think they don't really realize the reason why the hatred for the Eagles is there.
Philly. So and DJ, you know what? I leave pretty much all the technical stuff to Fiance here, so he really handles all of that.
What was the question?
He just says he has a lot of learning to do. So I mean, I'm more the creative aspect of the channel. I got the ideas. He has the execution. So, but that's why we're a team, though. But Fiance here, we do our best. But Fiance handles all that. He does a fantastic job.
I will say this, guys. I think one of the big differences with our channel and every channel out there, and I'll tell that to every single YouTuber if they want to ask me. I want to make sure people know that sometimes there's a lot of disagreements out there in the YouTube world with this guy or that guy. Sometimes you don't realize things till after you chat with them. But my point is that whether you disagree with some YouTubers or not, and on some subjects, you can still get along with them. You can still give them props to their channel. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly, like you gotta respect. Again, it's kind of like the Eagles. You gotta respect what they've done, even if you dislike them as principle. Well, in the sense of the Eagles team, I'm not saying we dislike anyone, guys.
It's more of disliking like a certain not disliking, but disagreeing with a certain comment or topic that we're just at odds about.
And you guys, we don't agree.
Right.
All the time.
So I'm just saying. So on that kind of vein, that's completely cool with us, just to disagree with other YouTubers that don't like what we're saying. We don't like what they're saying, and it's said on the videos. They're still good YouTubers. You understand? It's just there's that topic we disagree with. That happens to all YouTubers.
And honestly, guys, that's half the fun as well here when we do these big mega chats and things like that. These disagreeing opinions. It's a way for you guys to get all perspectives. The same way, thanks to your chat and you guys here with us, we get to hear your perspective, and we don't always agree either. So it's that back and forth that makes it all.
But I did want to say the one difference I say with the one thing I like about our channel compared to any channel out there, and it's not, again, no diss to any channel out there, the best ones out there. I think that we have a great interaction with the fans of My Cowboys family. That's part of the idea behind it.
I agree.
But also the fact that we have 2 people sitting here on the couch most of the time. Sometimes it's just me going solo. Sometimes we're just doing a breaking news, so that's different. But when it's it's us 2 and or more, like my mom or the children here, then when we have our kids on here, whatever it may be. The point is that we have an interactive stream inside the stream. That we're all interacting with each other, so we can bounce ideas off each other. Everybody else is themselves. One person. We're ourselves, but we are 2 people discussing things along with you guys. So I think that is something that nobody else really has out there, and we just appreciate the fact that there's 30 people sometimes watching here, just listening to us talk about Cowboy football with you guys, whether it's through a Madden stream, through this, whatever it may be, venting, reviewing stuff, reading news, breaking news, whatever it may be, and
all of it, guys, for all your support
love
here.
Yes,
Thank you. Let me see, Donch Ningo. Hope I pronounced that right.
Hopefully subscribe,
bro. Why a Cowgirl fan talk about football this time of year? Foles got more playoff wins than your team. So, because we are Cowboy fans, whether our team's sitting on the couch or in the Super Bowl. That goes without saying.
Just in case you didn't know, just in case I know some Philly fans don't understand like fandom and stuff, but that's what you do when you're a true fan. You see, there's 365 days in a year, and you can talk Dallas Cowboys 365 days in a year. More than that, really, because we do it 2, 3, 4 times a day, guys. And we talk about the Eagles because they're in the Super Bowl and we don't like them. We talk about the Patriots because they're in the Super Bowl, we don't like them. But we got to talk about, we hate the Eagles.
Yeah, we're still going to keep it real, guys, and
bring you all
the updates, yeah.
Boom. Forever, guys. And every day there's something to talk about the Cowboys. And even the Eagle fans, even if they win the Super Bowl, which they won't, but even if they do, they know it. They know there's so much stuff to talk about the Cowboys. Even if they win the Super Bowl, they're still, the star always overtakes them. Always.
Now, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. We are going to be logging off. We're going to do our final shout-outs of the night because we don't want to miss Space Cowboys 17.
Yes. But make sure, guys, you hit that like button for this stream.
Number one. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live.
Those $10 drops, guys, you get the My Cowboys Family merch. We send it out immediately. We got everything sent out. Hopefully, let us know when you get them. But you can see the leaderboard above for this week. Big congratulations, DJ Crown J, for winning last week's donation winner. We're still gonna do stuff with special stuff with him. But we're still gonna do special stuff with Space Cowboy 17 because he's got some great stuff, and we did that great podcast with him the other day. So special thanks to those two guys for donating today. Special thanks to Dallas Cowboy Football News, who we also did a podcast with, and that same thing. Thank you for the donation drop, and Slim Shady, Eminem in the house. Thank you for your drop too.
Thank you so much.
So
I want to go ahead and go through our final.
Go Cowboys.
Let me see.
Baby.
So Gary Stokes, thanks for joining us. Cowboys Abroad, Santa Claus, Eagles 01, Tampa Bay Gaming, Gary Stokes, Donchino. Yeah, I hope I say that right. Cowboys X Factor, thanks for joining us here as well. DJ Crown J, of course, man. Thank you always.
The king.
So let me see. Buddy Johnson, Stronger King 23. We got Slim Shady in the house. Thank you for joining us. Philadelphia Sports Net. Thanks for being here as well. SCFL Network, Cesar Duarte, Brian Bradford, Wolf Ryder. Let me see. Mr. Mike 307, Bionic Cam, El Chapo King.
The whole crew, man. Woo.
Man, we got everybody. Let me see.
Make sure you subscribe to DJ
Space Cowboy 17 as well.
Guys, make sure you subscribe to Space Cowboy 17. But right now, DJ Crown J just dropped the link. Subscribe right now. Before you go to watch Space Cowboy, subscribe. DJ Crown J, he's got another new video dropped just today. He's going to be dropping a lot more stuff as time goes on. He just started up his channel, Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Check it out, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe over there, too. And jump on board to the new Cowboy Nation here coming out, guys. We're doing our thing, and I love what's going on here with us, with all the Dallas Cowboy YouTubers, all the way from the Law Nations down to us. All right, so thank you, guys, so much.
So with that, guys, thank you so much for joining us here once again. And never, ever, ever forget, even though we're talking about the Patriots and the Eagles and all these other teams, never forget the main focus of this channel. Number one, it's all over, all around us.
You know what it is. Go Cowboys! Woo!
Catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining us here. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, guys. Stay safe. Peace.